Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waha, Waka Kodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who will well and teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, sincere sisters that's listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah from the Servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. Bahashem, meaning coming in the name. Ba means coming in. Ha means the. Shah means name. Wakah means holy. Kodash means spirit. And pretty much in this lesson, it's going to be continuing the second part of Genesis 49. Now, if you are tuning into this lesson that I am doing, this is the second part of Genesis 49. So I'm starting from, I think it's verse 13 or 14 on down. So if you're trying to get the beginning of Genesis 49 from verse 1 all the way to 12, then that's the one you should be watching the previous video I did yesterday. This lesson is going into the second part of Genesis 49. So I'm going to be breaking it down from verse 13 all the way down. Okay, so Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, so I'm going over this also for my own self to, always go over these breakdowns, because you will wind up forgetting them and then you got to do it all over again. So it's best to do the same lessons and the same breakdowns just for yourself purposely, and also for those that are new in this truth. So we're going to start at Zebulon. We're at Zebulon right now. So let's get to it. This is Genesis 49 and verse 13. It says, Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships. And who is Zebulon? Zebulon is the Panamanians and Guatemalans, as you can see right here. That's Zebulon. The Guatemalans, the Panamanians. And when it speaks about right here where it says, and Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, that's talking about the Panama Canal. And I'm going to get that out right now for edification. All right, that's what that's talking about. So we're going to put that in real quick. The Panama Canal. Because that's what that's talking about. For those of you that don't know, the Panama Canal is really pretty much where ships of cargo go. They go through the Panama Canal to get to their destination a little quicker. Okay, so this is the Panama Canal right here, as you can see. It's where the boats go through. Okay, they go through there for shipments, certain things like that. So that's what that's talking about. Okay, so that's the Panama Canal that is mentioned in here. Okay, so Zebulon is the Guatemalans to the Panamanians. And when it says, Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of ships, it's like a haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, that's talking about the Panama Canal. Okay, it says, and his border shall be onto Zidon. So there you go, man. So this is how we know that Zebulon is the so-called Panamanians, the Guatemalans to Panamanians. All right, that's who that's talking about there. It says Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens, and the reason why it's talking about two burdens is because they're from the North America to the South America. Okay, in between the two burdens, because they go from North America to South America. Okay, and it says, and he saw the rest was good upon the land, that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Because Issachar, they do a lot of working. Okay, Issachar is the so-called Hispanics today. That's the tribe Issachar. Hispanics, aka Mexicans. That's the tribe of Issachar. Okay, the tribe of Issachar is the so-called Hispanics. Okay, Mexican as you call them. And they do a lot of working. Issachar, they could work 2-3 jobs, or whatever they do, they can make a living out of it. Selling ice cream, making tamales, selling corn. Issachar very, very, very talented when it comes to working. They work a lot, whether it's being a janitor, etc. A whole lot of stuff. This is Genesis 49 and 16, and it says Jan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Verse 17, it says, Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and an adder in the path, that biteth the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. And the tribe of Dan, Dan is pretty much mixed into Israel. Okay, the tribe of Dan is pretty much mixed all into Israel. They're all in Israel. Okay, we're not sure through faith, but through faith, the tribe of Dan is mixed all into Israel. We don't know who Dan is. Okay, verse 18, it says, I have waited for thy salvation. It says, I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Verse 19, it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And the tribe of Gad is the so-called Native American Indians. They were taken down by the U.S. troops. Okay, they were taken down by the U.S. troops. You can go into the Queen Anne Wars, King Philip Wars. We're gonna get that in, because I always talk about it, but I never really go into it. So we're gonna go into it just for edification. Let's go to the Queen Anne Wars. All right, let's go to the Queen Anne Wars. Queen Anne's Wars, right? I'm just gonna go to Wikipedia. It says the Queen Anne's Wars. The second, it says the Queen Anne Wars was 1702 to 1713. Was the second in a series of French and Indian wars fought in North America involving colonial empires of Great Britain, France, Spain, and it took place during the reign of Anne, the Queen of Great Britain, in the United States. It is regarded as the standalone conflict under the name. It says elsewhere it is usually viewed as the American theater of the War of the Spanish Succession. It was also known as the Third Indian War in France. It was known as the Second Intercontinental Wars. And as you can see, they got a map of where the wars took place at. See, so you had areas over here where they conquered. Right? You see it right here. It says Canada. You see that upper country. It has all the wars that took place. New Spain. See that? So that's where the wars took place at. And it took place from March 8th, 1702, right? July 13th, 1713. 13 years and 6 months and 4 weeks was how long that war took place. Okay? And give a little another information right here. Go to the King Philip Wars, right? King Philip Wars. King Philip Wars. Here you go, right here. Let's read about the King Philip Wars. And then we'll just head back. It says King Philip War is sometimes called the First Indian War. See that? It says the Metacombs War, the Metaconits War, the Pentateuchments War, Salakia. It says rebellion or the Metacombs Rebellion. It says was an armed conflict in 1675 to 1676 between a group of indigenous people, right, peoples of northern eastern woodlands, right, the English New England colonies and their indigenous allies. The war is named for the Mactacom, the Paconnocket chief of Shechem, of the Wampanoag, if I'm saying it right, Salakia, who adopted the English name Philip because of the friendly relations between his father in Massachusetts and Falmouth colony. It says the war continued in the most northern regions of New England until the sign of the Treaty of Casco Bay in April 2nd, 1678. So this is before the Queen Anne Wars. The Queen Anne Wars was the second, but the King Philip Wars, that was the first Indian War, and it was from June 20th to June 20th, 1675, April 12th to 1678. 2 years, 9 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. That's how long that one lasted. Okay. And you also have the Trail of Tears. You also have Wounded Knee. You also have the Colonial Wars, the Incolonial Wars. There's many wars you can go into, but I just want to read those two. But if you really want to get deep into it, brothers and sisters, you can go into the Colonial Wars, the Indian Wars, the Queen Anne Wars, King Philip Wars. They have the Trail of Tears. They have Wounded Knee. Wounded Knee was pretty bad too. There's so many wars you could look up, but I just want to read those main two right there. Those are the first two wars right there. Genesis 49, go back to 19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So this is talking about Gad. All right, Gad is the so-called Native American Indians today. That's the tribe of Gad. A troop shall overcome them, which they did. You know, the Native American Indians, they were taken down by the U.S. troops, as you know, but Gad shall overcome at the last. Okay. Verse 20, it says, And Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield world dainties. Talking about his rubies and things like that. They have a lot of wealth over there in Asher. And Asher is, because I always get kind of confused with Asher and Naphtali. Asher is the Colombians and the Uranians. They have a lot of jewels over there in Brazil and things like that. You know, they have a lot of jewelry, a lot of purchase of precious jewels, things like that. Okay, that's the tribe of Asher. And it says, Naphtali is an hind let loose. It says he giveth goodly words, right? And that's referring to Naphtali is the Argentinians in Chile. Okay, that's the tribe of Naphtali there. Okay. And it says Joseph, and we know Joseph is the tribe of Ephraim. It says Joseph is a fruitful bow, right? Bow, even a fruitful bow by a well whose branches run over the wall. It says the archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. It says, but his bow abode in the strength, and his arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty power of Jacob. From thence in the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the Most High of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessing of the breast and of the womb. Verse 26, and the blessing of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separated from his brethren, right? Because he was sold. Remember, he was sold. His brothers sold him into slavery, right? To the Hamites, to the Egyptians. But Joseph wanted up becoming governor of Egypt, right? So the Lord had that set up from a minute. But the tribe of Joseph is Ephraim. Now notice Manasseh is not on here, and we're going to read that. We're going to go to Genesis 48, because the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel is made up of Ephraim and Manasseh, which Ephraim and Manasseh, they come from the line of Joseph. Joseph is their father. And Israel, who is Jacob, he took Joseph's sons and claimed them as his own children. This is Genesis 48 and 1. It says, And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. See, Manasseh and Ephraim is Joseph's sons, which Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans today. That's the tribe of Ephraim, which Ephraim, as you can see right here, the Puerto Ricans, right? That's the tribe of Ephraim. And Manasseh, they're the Cubans today. The tribe of Manasseh is the Cubans today, okay? Which they're both called Taino Indians. All right, that's what the Puerto Ricans that they so-called call them Puerto Ricans, but they're actually Taino Indians. Okay, even the Cubans, they're also Taino Indians. Okay, so Ephraim and Manasseh, which are the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans, they are Taino Indians. Okay, so Manasseh is the Cubans, and Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans today. Okay, and it says, verse 2, it says, And one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. Verse 3, it says, And Jacob said unto Joseph, it says, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. Verse 4, And he said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. Now listen to this, verse 5, And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which Ephraim and Manasseh make up the 12 tribes of Israel. They are part of the 12 tribes. They make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You have Ephraim and Manasseh. See, Ephraim and Manasseh? Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans today. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans today. Okay? And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which are born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. So he took Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, and claimed them as his own children, right? It says, as Reuben and Shimeon, it says, they shall be mine. So Ephraim and Manasseh, um, they were claimed by their grandfather Jacob, Salaki. They were claimed by their grandfather Jacob as their own sons. Okay, so Jacob, the father of Joseph, claimed Ephraim and Manasseh, which is Joseph's sons, and claimed them as his own children, which makes up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So when you read Genesis 49, you won't see Manasseh there. So you'll probably have questions like, okay, how is Manasseh of the 12 tribes? Go to Genesis 48, Genesis chapter 48, and read verse 1 on down to 4, and it'll clear that whole thing up. So Ephraim and Manasseh make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, because you're not going to see Ephraim and Manasseh in Genesis 49, but when you read Genesis 48, that you'll get an understanding. So they make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, now we're going to go to Benjamin. Genesis 49 and 12. Benjamin shall waven as a wolf in the morning, he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. Okay, now Benjamin is the so-called Jamaicans today. That's the tribe of Benjamin, which is of the southern kingdom. You have Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which makes up the southern kingdom, which is, the southern kingdom. And then you have Shimeon, Zebulon, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, which is of the northern kingdom. So Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that's the southern kingdom. Okay, the tribe of Benjamin is the so-called Jamaicans today. Okay, though that's the tribe of Benjamin, the so-called Jamaicans. Okay. Verse 28, and all of these are the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And this is that their father spake unto them and blessed them, everyone according to his blessing. It says, everyone according to his blessing he blessed them. Verse 29, and he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people, bury me and my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim the Hittite. Verse 30, it says, and so this is pretty much Jacob giving his last request unto his sons before his passing. That's pretty much what this is all going into from here on down. Verse 30, it says, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim the Hittite for a possession of a burying place. Verse 31, it says, there they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife, and there they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. Verse 32, it says, the purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. Verse 33, and when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet onto the bed and yielded up the ghost, meaning he died. Jacob died and was buried unto his people. So this was pretty much his request before he passed. Okay, so this is pretty much the end of Genesis 49. All right, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Mahawa Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who will well and teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And actually, I forgot one more precept, going back to the tribe of Gad and Reuben, Salakia. I ended it too fast, so I'm going to get this out, and then we'll wrap it up. And I forgot. I was supposed to use this precept yesterday. I was supposed to read this for the tribe of Gad. This is 1 Chronicles 5 and 18. Salakia. It says, the sons of Reuben and the Gadites and half of the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men, valiant men, able to bear buckle and sword and to shoot with bow and skillful in war, were 440,703 that went out to the war. So this is to prove that the so-called Native American Indians are the Israelites. Reuben, Seminole Indians, Gadites, North American Indians, Manasseh, those are Cubans, which are Taino Indians. Okay, all of this is all the Northern Kingdom here. So, just want to add that to that. So, I'll wrap it up now with that. Salakia. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Yahweh Kakodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to the for the elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, sincere sisters that's listening to silence and the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahushai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. To the next time, I say shalom. On to the next one.